We're ready.
All right, call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Here.
Mrs. Sweet?
Here.
Mr. Bear?
Here.
Mrs. Fogel?
Here.
Mr. Hannah?
Here.
Okay, council does have a quorum, so if you would please stand and join me in pledging allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the regular session of the Enon Village Council, and this is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. Any additions to our agenda this evening?
Yes, sir. I'd like to request an executive session for possible land acquisition.
Land acquisition, Mr. Hannah.
And I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Whitaker for this evening's, or Mr. Lemaster,
I'll
for this
second.
evening's meeting.
And I'll second.
We knew what you meant. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
What was the motion? Yes.
Gonna be one of those nights.
Sorry, guys.
And I have a communication, sir.
Mrs. Sweet, communication. And I have one as well that I just discovered, so I will have one to present. Is there anything else?
My truck
Okay.
turns into a pumpkin at midnight, so we can.
We'll keep it
In
moving.
case of-
Let's go to the approval of the minutes from the Tuesday, May 11th, 2021 meeting. And I would entertain a motion in a second to approve if council is okay with these minutes.
So moved.
Second.
And call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And we've got financial information that Laura sent over this afternoon. Got the cash summary by fund. Looks like we're doing pretty good there. The appropriation status. Let's see, we're what, about 40% way through the year. General fund expenditures looking good. Street, same. The water may be a little high because of the Cardinal Drive tank. Police looks good. And let's see if I can get to the water here.
He's talking about the finances might not be first one.
I knew that.
Just making sure.
And water's a little high, yeah, because of the tank project. Overall, we're about 43%. On the revenue status, let's see if we received our rollback. Yes. We received a little over $13,000, not quite half. So we received about 54% of the anticipated revenue in the general fund. Street fund looks good as well, as far as receipts go. Same with the police levy. And let's see how we're doing in the water. And the water is always a month behind. So we're doing there, well, there also. Overall receipts about 43%. Kevin, do you want to give maybe just a quick update on the COVID funding. I know we've all attended some webinars, but kind of just what we know right now, which I don't know that's any clearer than what we knew previously.
Yeah, I don't think there's any new news. I mean,
Okay.
we're still getting, what Dave expressed before. We got the, I don't know what the right word is. Till 2024, we're allowed to spend it, I guess, from the way I understand it. So other than that, if you want to expound on anything. So.
Only that, and I had a question, so I asked, and he said it would be about 2 months, and this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it would be about 2 months before, because we hadn't, we meaning the state of Ohio, hadn't received the funding yet. Once they do, it has to be approved by the state and then approved for distribution by the state. And then it would go on, and I said, how long will that take? And he said, 2 months.
Yeah, it seems like it's a total different process than before, so.
Oh, yeah, totally different.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at the 1st of July then, or the first part of July probably.
That would have been my guess.
Okay, thank you. Communications, Mrs. Sweet, I'll turn that one over to you.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to announce that the Enon Community Historical Society voted at their board meeting Monday evening to have the Enon Apple Butter Festival, October 9th and 10th. And that was last Monday. And yesterday, the vendor applications were sent out to previous vendors and new request vendors. So expect applications for the police and the village, et cetera. Just wanted to let everybody know.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Thank you
That's
for
good
that.
news for the community.
I had one item, and it's possible this may have come up at the last meeting, but just to make sure, this is from the Department of Commerce, Division of Liquor Control, and it's a notice that all permits become due. They do expire in July, and everybody's got to file for renewal. They're all due at the same time. Mike, you know all about this, and I'm not sure exactly how many we have in the village now, but I don't believe that we have any problem areas that we're aware of, but just so everybody's on board with that date and how that works. So, thank you. I'll go into staff reports. Kevin, I'll turn that over to you.
All right, thank you, Mayor, residents, council. First item on the agenda there, my agenda was a Bob White update. As of right now, the project is complete. The resurfacing is done. Road is open. Although we are having a meeting with the engineer and the construction manager on Tuesday, June 1st at 9 a.m. to just go out there, and there's a couple areas that is going to need addressed. Some of the soil has sunk down, kind of settled or whatever happened, but we're going to have to address those, so they're aware of it. So we'll meet out there at 9 a.m. and go through those couple items and go through some punch list items, things like that. And I know there was a couple neighbors out there that wanted some explanation on some things. So the one neighbor's planning on being there. So hopefully we can get everything, kind of all the questions answered and things kind of set to get this finalized and tied up. But in my opinion, I think the project went very well. The construction company was very easy to work with, very professional. I did hear nothing about any issues with them. I did get some comments from a couple people out there that they were polite and easy to talk to and stuff, so that's a plus. But they got in there and got the job done, in my opinion, and got out. And the only thing that's left that it's just minor. I had a call out that the porta pot is still there, but I called them, and he's the one guy, the yard that it's in. He's having company over naturally this weekend, but they said it will be removed tomorrow. So, but other than that, I think it went well, and it was well needed and well deserved. So.
And I agree. I think that was one of the better crews that we've ever worked with. And I think the village council picked the lowest and best bidder.
Yes, they
in
did.
that contract.
Yes, they did. I
They did a good
appreciate
job
that.
for the village of Enon.
Appreciate that. So, second item on my agenda is the Nature Work Grant update. I am putting the finishing touches on that as we speak, just kind of organizing everything. I'm waiting on a few numbers, but other than that, that grant will be mailed out on Tuesday. It has to be postmarked by Tuesday, so I'll get it in the mail on Tuesday. And there is an ordinance that the council will have to pass that goes along with that application. So we are submitting for extending the walk path at the Enum Park, plus widening the existing path to 8 feet. And the new path will be 8 feet wide. That gives, right now the current path is only 4 foot wide, and maybe a little less in a couple areas, and so it's really not ADA compliant, with bicycles, people passing, wheelchairs could not pass on it, things like that. And it's kind of, there's places where tree roots are pushing it up and things like that. So we're going to probably address the whole path, existing path, and whether we tear out, put 8 foot in, or put another 4 foot on the side, however it's going to work. But I did get a bid from Mead Asphalt for the project, and the total asphalt came in at $37,000. So, and with the stone, I estimated the stone at right around $10,000 or $11,000. Park benches a little over $2,000. There's 5 park benches that can be placed, in the path, or not in the path, along the path. Some trees, things like that. So hopefully we get something. I'm pretty sure we will. Because there's like $160-some thousand available. In the max project amount you can apply for is $150,000. So our total project, I estimated, is going to be right around $54,000, with our match right around. I know the village is putting in $10,000, and there was another donation that was supposed to come in that I need to find out how much exactly is, because I got to list that in the project, but. Our 25% of that would be right a little over $13,000. So that's a pretty good project for what the village is committing to do. So, and it'll be nice. It'll be really nice. So, and a lot of our guys are going to work on it. We'll tear the grass up. That's going to save some money in construction costs. Having a contractor come in and do it. We'll rent a rototiller and kind of make the path. We'll put stone down and get the base in, and then the asphalt company will come in and do the final grade, and so that way it's draining good and things.
Does
like
that count as in-kind? Are we counting that as a
I
contribution?
will, yes. And
Good deal.
if some of that, what we're going to be doing is it will be in kind, and then that can offset that $10,000 a
Sure.
little bit, and we can use that extra
Sure.
for something else.
Good deal.
I kind of put in a few trees too as well, just to kind of give it, especially the new part, give it some kind of shaded areas, and put the benches where the trees are, so people can sit down and enjoy it. So I think it's going to be good. Like I say, June 1st, I'll get that mailed in, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Kevin, do you need that ordinance passed this evening then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever we want to do that, I mean, that's,
I'll tell you what, since we're on the topic, do you have a copy of it?
yeah.
Why don't we just take care of that right now? And you can read it by title only if that's the pleasure of the council.
Works for me.
Okay.
Is this a correct number on it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, it is. It's our first ordinance of the
Wow.
year, so. Emergency ordinance number 2021-01, an ordinance authorizing the village administrator of the Village of Enon, Ohio, to file an application with the State of Ohio Department of Natural Resources for financial assistance for public recreation purposes for the Village of Enon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
So we need to suspend the 3 reading rule.
I'll make a motion to do so.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
Then we'll need a motion and a second to pass the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Write this down. Let's see here. Coons Drive update. I got the resurfacing agreement from the county, sent that back in to them today. We are looking at to grind and resurface Coons Drive, a total of $21,900 to get that done. Then that section will be done. As you know, we did Fay Drive last year, so Coons was another one in bad shape, and then next year hopefully we can kind of move that way a little bit. And I'm thinking Countryside is probably the next one that is very much in due to get ground down, for one thing. I mean, it is so high, so, and holding some water. So, but that agreement was sent back in today for that. COVID vaccine clinic, remember, every Wednesday through June, 4 to 6 p.m. right here. There have been great turnouts for that, so that's going well. And because the same night as the food trucks, and we're having a good luck on that this year as well. A lot better luck than we did last year. So, Citizen of the Year, June 14th at 7 p.m. I want to make a correction. Last meeting I said it was here. It's at Knob Prairie Church on June 14th. So I want to let everybody know on that. The blood drive is June 9th from 1 to 7 here at the Government Center. Let's see here. Cardinal Tank update. Everything is good. Jason went over a punch list with the contractors. They're cleaning up around the outside now. We'll be starting to fill that next week. So after the holiday, we're going to be getting
The lettering
that,
turned out really nice,
Yeah.
I think. It's visible from the major roadways and turned
Yeah.
out really well.
So, and I got a letter from the VFW. I'll read it to you. At this time, we are still planning on our Community Independence Day celebration here at the VFW Post 8437. This year's fireworks display will be held on July 3rd, 2021. Due to the current circumstances, we are unable to go out into the community and ask for donations. We appreciate last year's generous donation. We would be grateful for any donation. Can we still count on your continued support of this year's fireworks display? We hope to have raffles, music, food, and children's games for everyone to enjoy. So that is July 3rd. So I would like to ask council to see if they would be willing to donate what they did last year. I think it was $2,500.
$2,500 is what we've been donating.
We'll make a motion to participate with VFW for a sum of not to exceed $2,500 for the fireworks display this year.
I'll second.
Go ahead, Ben.
Any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I will let them know. Remember, the office will be closed on Monday for Memorial Day. I will be on vacation starting tomorrow till Tuesday. So I think that's all I have for now.
You might want to mention the agreement that we're in the process of reviewing for South Senior Street.
Oh yeah, we got an agreement, an intergovernmental agreement from the Clark County and the Greenland School and us that we're reviewing. There was one area that we had questions on when we went over it, so I emailed Paul back today and waiting on an email response from him on that, just to get a clarification.
And that was discussed, I think, Dave, in that meeting that we had with the engineers department, that it was coming down the road, and Kevin just wants to make sure before he brings it to council, all the things are clarified and that he understands it. So, but no surprises there, so.
Pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
other than that one spot, and
One spot.
it'll be easily taken care of. So I think that's all I have for now.
Questions for our administrator?
I have one. You said a bike path. I just wondered how long it would be and how much of it would be in the village.
The It's going to be approximately a little over half a mile total. And it's going to be coming off the existing path and kind of around the back part of the park there along the fence row. And so, yeah.
Not that big. Okay, that works. Thank you.
Any other questions? Chief, I'll turn it over to you. Good evening.
Evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council and residents. We have the Memorial Day Parade. It's coming up this Sunday. Lineup will start at 1 p.m. there at Indian Valley Middle School. The parade starts at 2 p.m. and it'll start at Indian Valley Middle School. It'll come north on South Xenia down to Main Street there, and then head down East Main Street out to the cemetery just like every year. So we'll have officers out to hold up some traffic for a little bit so the parade can get through like they do every year. And hopefully we have a good turnout and it goes well. I passed out the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program the Attorney General put out. They'd had it out a couple years ago, and we had purchased grants through our federal grant, which only pays a 50% match, and then Speedway Corp had donated some money to help us purchase that way back in the day. But they extended it into another year, and they had a deadline up. I believe it was June 30th. Had to have the quotes and stuff in. But it's a very good grant match. It's a 75% reimbursement. This is for the external carriers that you see a lot of departments wearing, agencies. The Bureau of Workmen's Comp had put out. They did some studies about the gear that we carry on our belt, which is usually anywhere from 20 to 25 extra pounds, and officers over the years had some back issues, so the Bureau of Workmen's Comp did a study, and they came up with those vest carriers to kind of transfer a lot of that weight to the middle part of the body, and then yet still, and then house that vest. Some of them do look a little, I guess I don't know, they look a little bit more tactical, I suppose, but I think that's just because we're used to seeing the law enforcement officer with the big old belt on and all that, and we're just not used to seeing the displaced equipment. So I believe as you see them now, more people have them. But at any rate, I obviously applied for it because that's a really good thing, and those things have to be, they're only good for, the shelf life on them is a max 5 years. And in this grant, it was for the vest, the ballistic armor, the carrier, and then any accessories that go on it, which originally when we bought the vest and carriers, we only got the grant for the actual ballistic vest, and none of the grant would include, the attachments for the radio and some of the equipment to displace, which, by the way, those items are, if you look in front of you there, they're pricey when, a handcuff holder's $30. So a lot of the officers, the agency didn't pick that tab up for them, but they went out and some of them bought that on their own. And at any rate, that grant covers 75%. So I had Vance's, which is where we purchased our state contract, and give us a quote on vest and the attachments that I felt that most of us needed or would want to move up there. And the grants in front, or the quotes in front of you for the 7520, and then that is the one that has the Vance at the top left, and then the three documents that you have from the Dave Yost office. It says that the village was awarded the amount of the $5,640.53, so that's how much the village would be reimbursed to purchase.
Good deal.
Which we purchase them every so many years anyway, but this would just get everybody, yeah. And then that's a savings I haven't seen ever yet, and I've been here for a while. I've never seen that type of savings, so I went ahead and took advantage of that. If anybody has any comments or questions or I'll be willing to field in them, but it's a really nice option, and I thought we should jump on it before it was gone.
Good job,
So
I
did.
agree.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
No, good job.
Oh, thank you. And then I have Miscellaneous Communications down here. We've been very busy. The police department, we're working, the school, they had their last day. The transportation department had asked that we kind of help them so the bus drivers could drive around and say goodbye to the final school and the parents. And I thought that was really neat. It worked out great. We had an officer just kind of stage up at the exits there on their last day, and it went really well. I appreciate them asking us to be involved in something like that. It's really neat to see the looks on the kids' faces and even the staff and all that, as we have to remember that school's going to get tore down here pretty soon. So a lot of history there, and it was just really nice to be asked to do that as the parents and the residents and everybody was picking up their kids. I know this area can be a little tight at that time. It worked out really well, and I just want to thank the community for being tolerable for that and allowing those folks to do that, and so as much appreciated. And other than that, we're just going. We got the parade coming up, and we're a little short-staffed and still, but we're working on it, and everything's going good. Weather's warm, and
People are getting out again.
Yeah, people are getting out again, and I just encourage the residents, if they see something that looks maybe possibly suspicious or somebody poking around in the yards, as now we've got the youth are out of school, and sometimes youth like to do some fun pranks. It's not always favorable of some of the older folks, but or people that don't want toilet paper hanging in their yards or whatnot. But I encourage them to go ahead and call and ask us to just do patrols of their area where they see some upbeat and traffic, and we'll do our best to try to keep the silliness under control as it comes in this time of year, right? And we'll be fair. So.
And we were never like that when we were younger.
I did see that P. Hill had a nice senior prank. I think was it $750 worth of toilet paper they used, I think is what they said the estimate was. But the students were nice enough to come back and clean that up the very next day. I thought that was thoughtful. So that's all I have. I'll take any questions that any
Questions for our chief? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate your reports. Committee reports. Old business. New business. All right. I will skip down to comments from the public. Public, you can feel free to address the council. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
My name is Bob Givler. I live at 5 Bob White Drive, right next to the Bob White project, culvert project. And I'm here to thank you for that project. I've lived there since '85, and when I first came here, my wife Rose and I first, we were longtime members of Enon from '65, but and she's longer than that. But when we moved to Hawk Meadows in '85, that creek was this wide. And now it's about as wide as, if it rains, it's about as wide as this.
Yes.
Whatever you call this, or this bench area here. And we definitely needed something from a growth standpoint relative to the culvert. And I think we got that in spades, thanks to you. The culvert itself looks like it's going to be there for several lifetimes, both from the creek and from the people standpoint. And the people were just raving about it generally. Kevin might think differently, but the neighbors there are really, really intent about seeing something nice in their neighborhood. And it's not just nice; it looks like it's very useful. It's going to address the need of the neighborhood, and we appreciate that. Secondly, I'd like to commend the company that you chose. I like to just repeat what Kevin was saying. Is we really noticed that they're really professional. I think they were on schedule, if not ahead of schedule. Very clean, very clean. They were very courteous to the neighborhood.
That's great.
They bent over backwards, making the inconvenience for the neighborhood. They minimized that inconvenience to us. We'd go out there and they'd throw a pile of rock, in front of the driveway and say, "Oh no, I can't get out," that type of thing. But they had it cleaned up right away. So we appreciated that. Everybody was professional. Everybody was courteous. Everybody had a high quality job that they did there. And the last thing I'd like to commend is the interface that Kevin and Jason had with the community. I know that you can't please everybody, but they're always there answering questions. If somebody had a problem, they were there to say, well, we will address that a problem if it made sense to the community and if it made sense to the project. And that's all we can ask, that was done. And they were there every day. Jason was there almost 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
They were there every day and addressing the community as well as looking over the project itself. So with that, I'd like to just say thanks again. The community really supports the project, and we're really thankful to all of you for bringing that to our neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. We appreciate it. And come back again.
Thank you. Now we have to widen the door for Kevin to get out.
Any other comments? Okay, Kevin, did we have any callers tonight?
Nope, the music's still playing.
Music's still playing, okay.
You didn't have to prove it.
Yeah, we don't need to hear that.
Dave's theme.
So at this time, we would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss a potential land acquisition.
So moved.
Second?
And call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
And we don't expect to take any action when we return into regular session, and we'll probably be 15 or 20 minutes.
They say that I gotta be muddy or bloody.
So we need a motion to come back.
Need a motion to come out of
A
executive
motion to come
session.
out of executive session by Mrs. Sweet.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Babcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mrs. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes.
7:55. Motion to adjourn?
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Meeting adjourned.
7:55.